A lot of people out there tell you that you have to go through pain to get success. You have to do the things that you don't want to do. You have to wake up early. You got to do the hard work. You got to do the 12-hour days. You have to do the cold calls. You have to do whatever it takes to go through pain and reach success on the other end. Now that makes sense, but when I think about the people that have gone through pain who are my idols, I think about David Goggins. David Goggins, as a kid, slept on a couch, and underneath the couch cushions, his father's guns were stored. Imagine sleeping on a couch knowing that there is literal firearms below where you're sleeping. What if one of them goes off? That's pain. That is stress. The pain of him having to work in the roller rink with his family for 24 hours at a time, being abused by his father's belt, buckle first, for several hours at a time. I mean, that is pain. I can't relate to that type of pain. And I don't know about you, but I feel like for me, the pain is not in the work. The pain is not in having to wake up and, only get 7 hours of sleep instead of nine and do the 12-hour work days and go into businesses and do the cold approaches and do the cold calls and do all of this stuff. That's not painful to me. I can easily do that. The pain for me, it's missing out on the social events. It's the sacrifice that's the pain that people are talking about, not the actual pain of doing an action. It's the pain of inaction when it comes to social activity. Now, I hope this speaks to someone because I see so many YouTube videos where these people that just talk to the camera with no editing, with just raw footage, they're talking to like subhumans. There's no videos of people talking to people that have already made success. You might be at 3, 5, 10K a month. You can do the work. You know you're doing the work. So when you watch these videos and they're screaming at you to get off your ass and stop playing video games and stop watching porn, you're kind of like, what about me? I still don't feel like I have it all figured out, but I definitely am past the point of most people. And that's what I'm here for. Because I feel like in the past 2 years of improving myself and then finding entrepreneurship in the last year, I've made leaps above where I used to be. But they're talking to me as I'm sort of below them. I mean, of course I am a little bit, but I'm not down below where they're talking to most of their audience. And I'm sure you aren't as well. So when you hear them talk about things like, you need to go through pain to get the success, that's true, and you have gone through pain. But what they talk about when it comes to pain might be completely different to the pain that you and I feel. The pain that a rapper goes through on his come up to success is having to kill people, is having to see his friends get shot in front of him, is having to sell drugs, is having to have his dad leave when he was younger. That's not the pain you and I go through. And I don't know about you, but doing the work for me is not the pain. As I said, the pain is missing out. The pain is when all of my friends text me, like just happened today, hey, we're going pitch and putt. Do you want to come? They're only here for 2 weeks until they go back to university. And I said no. And I said no because I know I have to make this YouTube video. Then I have to go post on my social platforms for my agency. Then I've got to connect with my team members for my agency to make sure everything's going well. And then I got to do DoorDash on top of that to make more money to keep reinvesting more than I'm even making from my business back into my business. This is the pain. That's the pain for me. I can get up. You need me to work 16 hours a day? Fine. I'll wake up 5, 6, 7 a.m., whatever. I'll do it. That's not painful to me. And the second thing is missing out on relationships. When you go hard in your goal, you sacrifice relationships. Of course, if there is someone there that's good for you, get into that. I'm not telling you to ignore women and become an incel, but there's no denying that when you go all in on your goal, all in on your business, you're fed up, you just want to make 10K a month, there's no denying that you're not going to have time for relationships. I mean, hell, a date takes up 4 to 6 hours. You can do a lot in 4 to 6 hours. You can do all your work in 1 week within 4 to 6 hours. You can't go on that date. Maybe you do want to mingle those things into your life, and that's totally what I'm going for in the future. But I know now my goal is 10K a month, and anything that isn't in line with that goal, I won't do. I know you've heard that a lot. I know It means absolutely nothing at this point. But take that and just understand that, take what I just said and understand this very simple concept. You are in a current position, and the goal you want to get to is in another position. By definition, you need to do everything you possibly can to achieve that goal, that desired state. The pain that you experience, the sacrifices you make along that journey, that is your pain. What is that sacrifice? I don't know. Does that mean does that mean you have to get an overnight shift job and start working on your business during the day and work an overnight shift because you have to pay for your grandparents that might be disabled? I don't know. Maybe that's your pain. Maybe your pain is working that overnight shift. My pain is missing out on social activities with my friends. Maybe you've been the most undisciplined person your entire life, so waking up at 5 a.m. or 6 or 7 a.m. to do 12-hour workdays is extremely difficult. Maybe you're addicted to nicotine. Maybe your pain is having to quit nicotine. If someone were to tell me, and people do tell me, I do have friends that are addicted to nicotine, they tell me, quitting is so hard. I keep getting the urges. It's so painful. I understand where they're coming from, but that's not my pain. That's their pain. That doesn't relate to me. So if someone tells you that, your work needs to be super painful, and if you're not going through constant pain, then you're not going to be successful. That's true. But understand that pain and sacrifice come in different areas for each person. Your work might not be painful. There are painful aspects of your work. If I lose a client, that's painful. But my day-to-day responsibilities and what I have to do, I don't view as painful. I don't view that stuff as painful. That is not pain to me. And the reason why is because I know I have to do those things. Waking up and doing the 12, 16-hour workdays is something I have to do. It's a non-negotiable. So why would I even view that as pain when it's not even an option? I have to do it. Whereas hanging out with my friends, deciding, do I go play pitch and putt? Do I spend 6 hours on a date? Do I try to make that connection? I'm pursuing 10K a month, but do I do that as well? Those are the decisions that cause pain for me. And when I go through pain, that's what I think. That's what I think about when I think of pain.